was the perfect fit for me, or the best fit for me. And that's ultimately came down to the deciding factor.
David Woods, go ahead.
Torrey, you've obviously had an unconventional route to the NBA. I guess when did you first were convinced that you could play in the NBA? And can you share two or three interesting cultural or basketball stories about your experiences in New Zealand and Australia?
I mean, I've always known I could play in the NBA. It's always been a goal of mine. And coming out of college and even playing overseas, one of the biggest things for me was never my ability to play or compete in the NBA. It was getting the opportunity. So once I got the opportunity, I knew I would make the most of it, and that's all you can ask for. And as far as stories, I mean, it was great playing overseas in Australia and New Zealand, with just to see their different culture and their approach to the game and how they go about their business. So, I mean, I wouldn't say I have any interesting stories, but I definitely enjoyed my time and I learned a lot from those guys over there.
Some good teams in Denver, and then last year playing for both the teams that made it to the finals. Is winning something that you personally value, and is that something that you think you can do here in Indiana?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like every athlete, every competitor should value winning. If you don't value winning, then I don't understand what you're doing it for. So, yeah, winning is definitely something I value a lot. And yeah, just look to come to Indiana and continue that habit and just building winning habits and playing winning basketball.
David?
Yes, I understand there's an NBA championship ring headed your way. Was it weird being in the finals in a situation like that? It looked like you were going to get a ring irrespective of outcome.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique situation to be in, but you obviously want to win the ring with the team that you're currently playing for, which was Phoenix at the time. So I would have liked the ring a lot more if I got it with Phoenix.
Seth Johnson.
Torrey, I'm curious, what conversations have you had with Coach Rick Carlisle, and kind of what about his coaching style and his pedigree do you ultimately respect and look up to?
Yeah, we've been in contact pretty much every day, if not every other day, texting, phone call. I was even in the gym with him a couple of times in Vegas, and yeah, I just respect him as a coach. He's been coaching a long time, been around the NBA for a long time, and I respect his input in anything he tells me or any advice he has for me. You know, just watching with Dallas, their pace of offense, the ball movement, and how he orchestrated that team, and I think that's going to translate here in Indiana, and it's just going to be fun to be a part of.
Hey,
Torrey, what role do you see yourself playing on this team?
It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to say at this point, but I think the given is just being a defender, a rebounder, an energy guy that brings energy, the things that I do by default. So, but I mean, it's a new team, new coach, so it's kind of tough to kind of say your role when I haven't even been around the team or the concepts, offensive, defensively. It is tough to say right now.
Pat Boylan.
Then maybe from a little bit more of a broader perspective, Kevin Pritchard in the front office have previously labeled versatility as something they're looking to get a little bit more of. Do you sense that's part of why they were looking at you and something that you can provide this group? Yeah,
I mean, I think if they look for versatility, yeah, I'm pretty sure that had a lot to do with it, especially just my role I just had coming off a team that went to the finals. So I would say that would have a big part in why.
Scott Agnew.
Hey, Torrey, what were you able to learn from both Milwaukee and Phoenix about team chemistry, sacrifice, gelling, things like that help comprise a championship contending roster?
I wouldn't say that I learned anything different from being in Denver, because just last year I was in the Western Conference Finals with Denver, so it's those same habits, those same morals, the leadership, the small things that all contribute in winning. And we had that in Denver, and they had it in Milwaukee, and obviously in Phoenix. So those were three teams that had similar characteristics when it comes to winning and just playing together and being tough. So I expect no different from here in Indy. All it takes is a couple of guys to recognize it and get on board, and it's kind of like a effect where it goes down the whole line, where everybody just buys in and wants to win and wants to play at a high level and minimize mistakes and just play together.
Tony East.
Hey, Torrey. It seems like in this free agency period, the Pacers, between getting Duarte and McConnell and bringing you in here, they prioritize adding defense to this roster. What does it mean to you to help this team on that end of the floor? How much pride do you take in being such a strong defender?
Man, I take all the pride in the world on being a defender. It's definitely a pride thing. I don't even like guys to score one basket. It doesn't matter. It's just a pride thing. And I think the more guys that have that mentality and catch on, that's what makes you a hard team to beat. Because offense, it's the NBA. Guys are talented. Definitely some talented scorers on this roster. So offense is going to come, but when you can get a team to lock in offensively and defensively, that's when you become championship contender.
Yeah, did you have any prior relationships with any of your new teammates, and have you had any conversations with them, I assume, over the past few weeks?
No, I had no prior relationships. Only guy I knew was Aaron Holiday. He left, so but I've been able to link with a couple of guys. I seen Miles and worked out with Karras in Vegas. TJ, a couple of guys reached out, Malcolm, but I haven't really got a chance to interact with them yet. But mostly only Miles and Karras so far.
Scott.
Yeah, to that point, you were obviously out in Vegas for at least 2 or 3 games, I think. Would you have been out there anyway, or did you make a point to go out, see the new team, work out with a couple of guys, meet the coaching staff, and what were you able to learn through all of that?
Yeah, I thought it was a good opportunity for me to go out there and meet some of the guys and get in the gym with coach and the staff and meet the staff and come to some summer league games for young guys, things like that. So yeah, I thought it was just a perfect opportunity to especially meet new teammates. I think that's very important, going to a new team, building chemistry early, get to know each other well, and because bonding off the court is just as important as it's on the court. So I thought it was a good opportunity.
You talked about your defense, but also toughness plays in. When did that flip for you, or when did you become that tenacious defender and take pride in that? Was there an evolution to all that?
Yeah, my first year overseas in Australia, I was playing with this team in the NBL called the Cairns Taipans, and the coach actually told me I wouldn't play that many minutes unless I started playing defense, because coming out of college, I was a scorer. All I wanted to do was score. That was mostly what I cared about, and it was kind of like a reality check when I got over there, and I could play defense, but I just wasn't interested in it. But once I figured out that I could play defense and started taking pride in it and scoring on offense, that's when my defensive IQ and playing on the front foot and all those instincts kind of took over.
I think you've been out in Phoenix most of the offseason. Why are you out there, and what have you been doing to work on your game over these last couple of months?
I actually just recently got back to Phoenix. I have a trainer in Miami, so I was there in Miami working with him. I also have a trainer in LA, so I was out there a bit working with him. And obviously, I was in Vegas. I was at home with my son for a little bit back in South Carolina, and I recently got back to Phoenix a couple of days ago. But yeah, I have a trainer out here, and it's just repetition on shots. Little things to polish up your game, ball handling, ball skills, a lot of shooting, trying to take care of your body, lifting, maintenance, physio, all those kinds of things.
All right. Any other questions from anybody? Okay, perfect. Torrey, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again
All
soon.
right.